On this channel, y'all have heard me talk about the insane process that I went through to essentially leave my group practice. You've also heard me talk about me figuring out life as a mom, of teenagers, being married with an autoimmune disorder, and also big frequently, okay, you actually have a second autoimmune disorder. And so, what I want to speak to today is I want to speak to the things that I have learned just going through this whole process, and particularly five things that I wish I would have known before I was ever diagnosed with anything. So, welcome back. If you've been with me on this journey, I appreciate you. And this has just been such a whirlwind for me, just trying to maintain a practice and being, a helper in helping professions, but also still realizing where I need help and noticing that I need help in places that I didn't think I was help before. And then trying to also manage this spot for myself where it's like I felt like I had it all together. I felt like I cracked the code. I knew what I needed. I'm so sorry. My kid left a piece of paper on the floor and my dog just ran off like he stole gold. So he's about to rip up this piece of paper to a million shreds. So, um, so just got distracted at that moment. But all of the things, all of the curveballs that life has thrown me, and then it's like, okay, what are you going to do with this? Okay, what are you going to do with that? Number one of the things that I think for me in this process that I wish I would have known is I wish I would have known just how humbling this process is. I've been through so many seasons in my life where life has just humbled me. Like, you thought you were a lot. You thought you were this, that, the third. I need you to sit down, bro. Sit down. And I need you to see who you are actually in the vastness of everything in the cosmos and all the people. And, you're not, you walking and breathing in the zone is not going to necessarily stop it from birth. So there have been multiple times where I felt like life has thrown me curveballs, where I felt like I had to really sit back and evaluate my own distress and take a look at it in the grand scheme of things and really, really acknowledging how limited I am as a person. And you would think that that process is annoying, overwhelming, and I will say it is those things. But even more so, every time I've been in these seasons of life where I have been humbled, just humbled, that I found that I have grown a lot each and every single time. Not in ways that I wanted to grow, but I have grown each and every single time. And I've learned a lot about myself and my weaknesses and how small I am in the grand scheme of everything. So that's number one. Number two, the other thing that I think was really important for me to learn that I didn't know before that I wish I would have known is I wish I would have known for a healthy young person that if you have symptoms in your body that aren't making sense and people have not been able to give you some sort of explanation that makes sense to you, you might need to build a care team. So, what do I mean by care team? I mean a series of specialists that you see that can run a wide range of tests because one test is not going to get it all. This whole process started a year before COVID for me. And the thing that I noticed was I had bronchitis. And after bronchitis, my lungs just did not fully recover. And so the joke was I had COVID before COVID was COVID. Before people were calling it COVID, I had COVID. So, but that whole process was a sign of gut issues for me. That whole process was a sign of you're having some difficulty breathing because there's some other things that are going on here in your nervous system. Systemically, there's some stuff that's shifting and changing. But I wasn't seeing the right specialist to do all the tests, run all the studies, and put the pieces of the puzzle together so I could find out what was going on with me. And so, oh, that was like, it's 2026 right now. That was 7 years ago. Okay. 7 years ago. And I think about all the times that I went to urgent care, saw healthcare providers, and they were all like, you're fine. I think it's just anxiety. Fast forward 7 years from now, this is the earliest signs of autoimmune disease in my life, in my body. Other than that, I was healthy. I was exercising, I was eating right, I was walking, drinking water, all the things that you would say to do to for somebody to do. Taking deep breaths, sleeping at night. I was doing all of those things. So a lot of folks, and especially as a Black woman, my blood pressure wasn't high and my glucose was normal. So they were just like, "It's just in your head. It's in your head." And I get why they thought that because the people that I was seeing could not run the types of tests that I needed ran to be able to get me the answers that I needed to have to validate what was going on inside of my body. So that would be 2. Definitely get a care team that's together. And so how do you even figure that out? Well, after seeing general practitioner after general practitioner after general practitioner, not really getting anywhere, a lot of them burning out, closing their practices. What I ended up doing was my next general practitioner I decided to make was internal medicine. And I am so, so thankful that I made that choice because the internal medicine provider just took kind of a little bit more of a holistic approach and was like, okay, let's run this test, let's run this test, let's send you to this specialist, let's send you to that specialist. And so the internal medicine provider actually helped kind of organize and encourage and provide the referrals that I needed. So I wasn't doing all the second guessing by myself. So that's what 1, 2. Okay, I think I got 2, right? So the third thing that I would say is the importance of the right test. As a therapist, one of the things that I do, I provide a series of assessments. And I do a series of assessments, not just to waste my client's time, but I want to be able to get a baseline. I want to be able to kind of understand in clinical terms when I have a client coming in and they're saying, this is what's happening for me. I've had a lot of folks come in and say, I don't know, just things just seem off. I just feel like I'm not really that happy and I'm not really connected in my life. And I don't know why I'm not connected in my life. And I'll run a depression assessment, no depression, but maybe they're scoring high on some things that don't fit depression. Then I'll do another test and it'll show, no significant childhood trauma, but maybe another test will show that there's severe dissociation. And so I'm like, okay, this is making a lot of sense to me. This is why this person isn't connected. This is the clinical piece that I need to be able to share with my client so they have more details about what's going on for them. Because if not, you're left in a spot where you just feel crazy. And when I run the right assessments, provide the information with my client, I have a collaborative relationship with them where we can start talking about like, okay, who else do we need to add to our care team? Maybe it is a couples therapist if I'm not seeing them for couples therapy. Maybe it is if I am doing their couples work, maybe it's referring them to individual therapy or referring them to a trauma therapist or referring them out to see a psychiatrist, because maybe they're not sleeping well. But assessments tell so much. And so I knew that for myself, just in terms of my practice. It didn't I'm sorry, that may sound dumb as all get out, and I don't mean to be, but it didn't really click for me because I thought I was healthy. I thought I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do, so this shouldn't be happening to me. But childhood trauma is something else, right? It always seems to come back for us. So, number 1, it is a humbling process. Number 2, oh wait, no, we said. Okay. Number 1, it's a humbling process. Number 2, you need to get a care team if things are just not making sense. Number 3, the right tests are so important. And so it is frustrating to take a lot of tests and for them to show nothing. So it's a tricky spot between I don't want it to be something serious, but I do want it to actually show something because that lets me know what's going on and I don't feel facing. I don't feel like I just need to work harder or try more, right? So have those right tests. It provides the data so that you start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. Hopefully, you're not putting pieces of the puzzle by yourself or just the chat GPT or whatever AI that you're using out there. Hopefully, you're also doing it with a provider that is trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together with you and providing a collaborative treatment plan. Another thing that I wish I would have known before getting diagnosed was I wish I would have known how stressful it is for your family and for your support system. I am so grateful for my support system. They have really showed up and showed out. And those folks in my support system that haven't been able to show up in the way that I needed them to, it actually was really okay for me. It just confirmed a lot of things for me. And so being able to see those folks not show up in the ways that I was pretty sure that they wouldn't be able to, it was fine. It actually just confirmed things for me. But to see the folks who love and care about me, who showed up and showed out, I am incredibly grateful for them. I'm incredibly grateful because they were able to hold compassion and care for me. They were able to think for me when the brain fog was just too bad, and I just could not think for myself. And so ah, I'm grateful to them, but I also recognize that it caused a lot of stress in their nervous system and a lot of stress in their bodies. And so, just as much as they were helping me co regulate, I also needed to take that time, take that time and to also co regulate with them as well. And so, that has been a beautiful process of just give and take and just really being able to sit with each other and to ride the waves of whatever was happening. We were able to do that together. And so it has actually strengthened a lot of my bonds. And a lot of times we think about the hormone oxytocin, and a lot of times we think about it as, oh, it's the cuddle hormone. I'll never forget, I was at a training and one of the trainers said, it's actually a stress hormone. It's a hormone that the body releases when it's feeling stress. And so I was like, what? Okay. But it makes sense. It happens in times where we need to co regulate. I'm stressed, they're stressed. We're doing that team lift process. We're holding the stress together. We're holding it together. And so I'm so grateful for them. And they have helped me be able to find a little bit more grace and compassion for myself as I've been able to find grace and compassion for him and just for my own body. The last thing that I would say that this process has really taught me and that I wish I would have known ahead of time is that it would have been really, really nice to know how important it is to work less. So I probably have just said like the worst cuss word for a lot of folks. What do you mean work less? We don't have to stay in Virginia. What I mean by that is this whole process of seeing all these providers, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes availability. And I'm joking with so many people, especially some of the older folks in my life. I say, I feel like a retired person because I find myself planning my life around my doctor's appointments and the scans and the tests and all the things that are. And so it has been humbling to have to readjust my life, even for my poor little dog who desperately wants some attention. So I thankfully waited until just now. I was able to get through those 5 things. I'm just gonna take some time to take it easy the rest of the day, give my dog some loving and love my family. So I heard you do the same. Please take good care of yourself and others. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I do ask that you take that time to do that. I really appreciate you. See you in the comments below. Take care.